Studios keep churning out reboots, remakes, spin-offs, sequels, prequels, and more, all in an effort to keep younger generations hooked on their beloved money-making IPs. Lately, we're seeing more nostalgic franchises being rebooted, specifically with Gen Z in mind, and that makes perfect sense. They are the next big audience. But how do studios make sure these reboots actually appeal to them? Let's take a look. The interesting thing about Gen Z, people born between 1997 and 2012, is that they're less interested in cinema. Studies show that they're the first generation that does not consider watching movies or TV their favorite form of in-home entertainment. Instead, they prefer gaming, listening to music, browsing the web, or spending time on social media. Watching movies and TV comes only in 5th place, so getting them to watch a film is challenging but not impossible. Something that works wonders is audience engagement. If a movie goes viral on social media through memes, dances, or fan theories, people are much more likely to check out what the fuss is about. A great example is Spider-Man: No Way Home, where rumors about the return of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield sparked massive online hype. The strong social media presence of stars like Tom Holland and Zendaya helped a lot too. One photo shared by Tom received no less than 19 million likes.
You know, we're very careful with how much of our personal lives we share, so everything, is something that goes through, not planning, but like, you're like, hey, can I post this? And you're like, let me just have a look. And they were zooming in the background, making sure there's nothing in there we're gonna get in trouble for. So, everything, there's a process to it. But, it's sometimes nice to share some of your life with the fans, and it's nice to see that they, reciprocated that love. And I didn't know it had 19 million likes, though. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Gen Z also tends to have a different and generally more inclusive view of the world. So when companies reboot old franchises, modern updates are essential. That often means more diversity. A good example is casting Halle Bailey as Ariel in the live-action remake of The Little Mermaid.
I feel so honored to be a Black woman and be taking on this massive role for us. I mean, it's a beautiful thing to be able to see the children and babies' reactions and being like, wow, she looks like me, she has my skin, she has my hair. I mean, it's really impactful to us when we're younger, when we're able to see ourselves being represented.
But it's not just about who gets cast, it's also about how characters are portrayed. Especially more female empowerment is a must. Portraying women as passive damsels in distress is no longer acceptable. Gen Z also tends to prefer stronger political messages and social commentary in films. Take Barbie, for example. Instead of telling a simple fairy tale story, the filmmakers chose to create something with more relevance.
The exciting thing about Barbie is it's ever evolving, and I don't think the movie shies away from some of the very valid criticisms that the world has had of Barbie over the years. And, even still, I think it lets us know that the brand is continually evolving and that Barbie is becoming for everyone and moving in that direction.
Topics such as diversity, female empowerment, and social commentary have become sensitive, so filmmakers must tread carefully not to alienate parts of the audience. Still, sticking to the classic formula of white male heroes can drive away many Gen Z viewers and result in lower box office returns. A new Star Wars trilogy is released roughly once in a generation. With episodes 7, 8, and 9, the studio introduced a female lead and more diverse cast members, which also led to some backlash.
Everything right now seems to be, on some level, divisive. Everything seems to come with vitriol and sensationalized means of communication. Everything is sort of hyperbolic and extreme, and in some cases, horribly attacking.
As mentioned earlier, watching movies and TV is only the 5th most popular form of entertainment for Gen Z. Gaming sits at the top of the list. That's why we're seeing more video game adaptations on the big screen. Some of these turn into massive hits, such as a Minecraft movie and the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Of course, these stories also needed updates. Simply rescuing Princess Peach is no longer enough.
I was so happy and excited when they offered me this role, but I did think, I don't want to do it if she's just going to say, "Save me, Mario." I was hoping that was the direction they were going in. And when I spoke to Illumination and Nintendo and the directors, and that was the direction, it was just great. And I was very, very surprised by how much it moved me to see the film. Genuinely. The concept that this is a role model that kids will grow up with, that this is what they'll see not just as leadership, but female leadership. It's incredible.
One thing's certain, Hollywood faces a real challenge in winning over Gen Z. The old formulas no longer guarantee success, and this generation expects stories that reflect their world, values, and online culture. For studios, that means thinking beyond nostalgia and starting to truly innovate.